first, I want to thank the fans that came out under the new policies and procedures. I'm thankful for the students that came out during the break here in the middle of this tough time with COVID. So I'm very thankful for the people that showed up. And I was nervous. Obviously, haven't practiced a lot at all. I thought they kind of grinded through the game, and we played a team that runs a lot of different sets and runs a lot of clock too. So I thought defensively we had to do a lot of different things. But was pleased. I thought we passed the ball as well as we've passed the ball. And again, had to use everybody. It was a tough day. Guys are real tired. So just some new experience I haven't had in 30 years of coaching. So glad that we toughed through the game. Scored a lot of points and got to get better on the defensive end. Gave up too many. But please got through the game, and hopefully we'll have a good practice tomorrow. Keep taking steps as we get ready for Big Ten play.
Jerry Carino.
Hi, Steve. Coming off this long layoff, aside from winning the game, what was the most important thing you wanted to see out of your team today?
I mean, I was just, again, nervous. We haven't run plays. We haven't been together at all. So I wanted them to play together, and I thought we really passed the ball, Jerry. That's what I was most pleased. Share the game, and then when we had to make defensive stops, we did. And I was very concerned. That end of the floor was very important today because this team has, a lot of different scoring options and guys that have gotten hot at different times. And so I was, obviously concerned with that. But like the way we shared the game, obviously I depended on my veteran guys, and they were ready for the task.
Brian Fonseca.
Steve, given that long layoff and all the circumstances, how impressed were you with how quickly you guys got off to a quick start, and it didn't seem like there was any real rust there.
Yeah, I mean, there was, but I know what you're saying. I like the way we passed the ball from the get-go. So I thought those guys kind of really shared the game, and I thought Paul really did a good job of getting Cliff involved early, and then Caleb defensively, looked like Caleb. I think he's one of the best defenders in the league and has to guard a lot of different guys. But we definitely had rust here today, but they kind of got through it. And I like the fact that they toughed through it a couple timeouts. They were exhausted. We had to use a couple of them just for that reason. But guys came in and gave us good minutes too off the bench. So pleased. It was a different kind of game, a different kind of rotation. And again, some of these guys, practiced just a little bit yesterday, and that's really all they've done. So didn't really know what we'd get, but, pleased to get a win. That was the deal, and get better tomorrow, and then, have Central Connecticut next and our last tune-up before the league.
Bobby Darren.
Steve, couple questions. First, is Andre okay? I know he played limited minutes tonight, and what was it like for you from a head coach's perspective during this layoff, like handling things that you probably never had to deal with before?
Yeah, no, it was just very different. Every day was different, and it was like a jigsaw puzzle of putting together who's coming out of quarantine when, and all the different things. Thankfully, we got a great doctor. Dr. Bouchard does a great job, and and Andres, yeah, he's good. He's been fine. Couldn't seem to get. I wanted those other guys to get in a rhythm today, and subbed and played a lot of different guys with a lot of different matchups, and he didn't get as many minutes as I'd like. I'd like to get Oscar some more minutes too. Quite honestly, he's been playing, really well. But tried to get Dean in there today for some minutes. Ralph is taking care of his family right now, so. Got some opportunities for some other guys, and Jalen played well in the second half. I didn't get him any minutes in the first half, and he's a good defender. I needed to get him time, so trying to get everyone some minutes here today, but also wanted to do a good job and make sure that we came out of this game with a win.
Aaron Brightman.
Hey, Coach. Speaking about that with minutes, last season obviously you didn't have much of a non-conference schedule. Now you have this long layoff right before Big Ten play. Is there anything that you learned from last season in terms of getting guys ready to play for conference play that you're looking at now, or how challenging is it to play that balance and act with minutes in terms of getting people ready for the Big Ten?
Yeah, I mean, it goes out the window when you take a 13-day break. So whatever game plan you had leading up to that, really changes. And, when you got one day to prepare for these games, you're just going to go with the hot hand, and you're going to play the guys that are playing well in that game. But, yeah, I've never been through anything like this. So, I thought really before the break, Oscar was playing good basketball, and then we went on the break, and that, obviously doesn't help his rhythm, and then we don't practice, and same thing with Jaden Jones, and then we don't practice, and so it's hard to get a rhythm, when you take 13 days off in the middle of the season. So try to do the best you can. I really like my bench. I like my team. Mawat's given us great minutes. It was nice to get Gio back. I mean, obviously he hasn't played much at all this season, so had to get him back in his minutes, so his legs are starting to get game ready. So got to do a lot of different things, and when you're dealing with an invisible virus, you got to plan for everything.
Go back to Jerry.
Steve, you wore your mask the entire game. You're still wearing it. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. Is there a message you want to send about that? The importance of mask wearing?
I mean, I think it's really important, and the alternative is to not have fans in the stands, and we did that already. I know our staff, our players don't want to go back to that. I think we tried to do a great job today. We're boosted, we're vaccinated, we're everything, but want to keep people, coming and watching, this basketball team. They deserve it. They've sacrificed. Now it's 2 years, Jerry. We're going on 2 years of living like this, but tried to do a real good job. It's real hard to coach with a mask on. I'm just going to tell you, it's but it's worth it if we can keep people in the stands and people come into Jersey Mike's Arena. It'll definitely be worth it. So hopefully we did a good job with that today. Hopefully our fans, who are awesome, hopefully they did a good job, and we can keep people in the building, and that's the main thing I want to. That's the main thing with the message, and I've worn it all day. I haven't taken it off, even when I'm in my office by myself. I have it on, and I got to do a better job with that. And I'm very focused on that.
Steve, could your players, was it hard to get them to hear you and the referees and everything? Like, it's
Yeah.
There's a lot of noise in an arena.
Yeah, I mean, it's real hard. It's real hard to coach. It's real hard. And sometimes, Jerry, quite honestly, the players don't want to listen to you anyways. So now they have a great excuse. I can't hear you. I didn't see your lips moving. I didn't know you were talking to me. I've heard just about everything, but, you'll get a little bit of everything, and we'll figure that out. I'm going to just start writing stuff down now. Just going to start writing it down. So I know they can all read.
Brian?
Steve, you touched on it a little bit, but the plan for the next 2 days, quick turnaround for Central Connecticut. What's the balance between practicing tomorrow, practicing them hard to get their legs back under them, and not tiring them out before another game?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, So they'll be game sore now. They haven't played a game in a long time. So that's a whole different kind of worry. And Rich is on top of that right now, our trainer. Dave Van Dyke and I will meet after the game, and we'll talk about, what we can get out of them tomorrow. Obviously, we want to be good for that next game. That's the most important thing. And more importantly, we want to get into stride heading into league play. So you got to do a real good job. If you when they haven't run or done anything 13 days, you could really move this thing backwards if you don't do what's right for their bodies and their minds. We'll watch a lot of film tomorrow. We'll obviously be well prepared. We've had a lot of days to prepare for Central Connecticut as a staff. And then, we got to be ready. So tomorrow we got to get in. We got to do a great job getting our game plan done in a short period of time, get them off their legs so that they can work as hard as they're going to have to work against Central.
Bobby Darren, and we'll just take a few more after that.
Hey, can you talk about the day Paul had? He seemed to really be on from three as well.
First, leaned on those veteran guys, but, Paul, I thought he got us off to a really good start, did a great job of getting the basketball into Cliff. I like Cliff's shot attempts. That's a good sign for us moving forward. He got good looks, and when he did, he made them. He spends a lot of time, on that, and I think during this break, he's really, spent a lot of time on his own. So, yeah, he got us off to a good start, but I thought he played well, the whole night, and I thought in spurts we played well. Everyone that kind of checked in, did what they needed to do.
Brian?
Steve, you obviously coached at Central for a long time. You coached under Coach Dickinman. I'm wondering if you're going to call him, around this time, or you call him before the game, after the game, just anything to do with that.
I mean, I love Coach Dickerman's one of the all-time great people, you know, and Pat Sellers and I were on the staff together when we worked for Coach Dickerman. So I'm proud that Pat's there, you know, as the head coach. And my family has a long-standing relationship with people at Central. My dad worked at Central Connecticut for 25 years. So it's right up the street from where I grew up. And they got a great program. And Coach Dickerman, you know, took them to NCAA tournaments and did an unbelievable job. And I'm pleased that Pat's there, and I'm thankful that they rescheduled the game too, because that was a zillion phone calls too that have to go into that. So looking forward to it. I talked to Coach D just about after every game anyway, so it won't be anything new. I'm sure he was watching today, and he'll have some great advice for me, as he always does.
Steve, what did your dad do there?
I mean, he did a lot of different jobs, but he was the vice president at the end of his career. So he was the vice president. And, yeah, we kind of grew up on that campus, my 9 brothers and sisters. So, you know, he worked there for 25 years and was the admissions director. And then he was the vice president in charge of, you know, budgets and the finance part of it. So, yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Guys, I want to wish the football team. So we're in the bowl game tomorrow. We're looking forward to watching it. Coach Shiano, unbelievable job, and our team will be excited to watch. And I'm hoping Rutgers Nation is down there and enjoying the great weather, and the rest of Rutgers Nation will be watching on TV. So it's exciting for us. Thanks, guys, for being on. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.